I might also say Moira Deeming is not using any taxpayers' money. Moira Deeming is not using any campaign funds. In fact, she's putting a bid out at the moment, defenddeeming.com.au, to raise money for her legal case. I think it'd be a shame if the party leader, John Pizzuto, was using party funds. We'll see what happens with that one. Michael Danby, everyone says that he ruled with an iron fist, that it was the Daniel Andrews party, it wasn't the Labor Party. Of course, the party famously went into administration. It has huge factional control. The talk tonight is that it is his protege, Jacinta Allan, who will get the top job. How does the party rebrand itself now away from the very divisive image of Daniel Andrews?
I'm not sure that it wants to at the moment. Dan Andrews is going to be successful in imposing his boilerplate socialist left ally, Jacinta Allan, as the next Premier. I think they're going to do a deal with someone from the right and have a consensus ticket. As your very capable Andrew Connell pointed out, this is against the Labor Party rules that this is being done this way. But if there's an uncontested ballot, they will argue that they can do it tomorrow. And Jacinta Allan sat with the Premier okaying the $1 billion spent on the road that was never built, on the games that was never held, and her record as Transport Minister in destroying small shopping centres like Swan Street, Victoria Street, Fitzroy Street and Acland Street sort of makes her a very doctrinaire person, in my view, who wouldn't come down and see the shopkeepers, see what was being done to those centres. Go down to Fitzroy Street now. I'll take a film crew down there with you, Jacinta, and see all the meth addicts handing out and destroying what once was a beautiful village of St Kilda.
I'll come to you on that point in a moment, if I can, Tim. But just let's be very clear for people tonight. There'll be no vote of the Labor Party caucus for the new Premier. It'll be the factions, union warlords and all the backroom types. They'll get to decide who is the new Premier of Victoria, isn't it? It'll be a stitched up deal.
Absolutely, and Dan worked long and hard for this effect. 7 people, I've spoken to political journalists, they've never heard of this. 7 members of the state caucus defected from the right to the left because they wanted to preserve their pre-selections. They'll all be voting for the consensus because they'll all want to keep their positions. This is the problem with Dan Andrews. He's imposed a socialist left government on Victoria, and it's going to continue, unfortunately, with his successor.
All right, just quickly, she is his protege, Jacinta Allan.
Yep.
Can she step away from her responsibility for the budget blowouts and the project issues and all the other things she's done as the number 2 to Daniel Andrews?
This minister was responsible for the delivery of the Commonwealth Games. This minister did not deliver the Commonwealth Games. This minister has been tied to Daniel Andrews' hip since since they went into opposition. Way back.
No one will know this unless the Liberal Party get out of its way.
Yes,
that's your point.
And my message to my former colleagues is stop running a commentary on this Labor government. We all know it's bad, but for example, the 50 new and increased taxes of this Labor government, which one of them are you going to repeal? Why don't you start repealing, 10 of them, 11 of them? Have a point of difference with the Labor Party. Then you might generate some media and a point of difference and increase polling.
And you might win.
Yeah, as Sheridan said, can't do consensus the whole time. You've got to have some areas where you disagree.
Fight.
If you don't fight, you lose.
You've got to fight.
Gents, don't tell me about opposition. You've got to have a contest or you stay in opposition.